Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Film Snobbery Live. I am your host, Nic Baisley, and I'm joined as usual by co-host Jerry Cavallaro. Jerry, say hi to the peoples.
Hi to the peoples.
It's the peoples. All right. I want to thank everyone
who's joined. Show.
It is the People's Show. It's the Indie People's Show. We've got a great episode for you guys, jam-packed with guests and stuff to talk about. So we're gonna get right on into it. Our first guest for the evening is a wonderful guest. I've spoken to him. He's got a great movie we're going to talk about currently in distribution, and we are going to go ahead and we're going to show you we're going to show you the trailer to that flick right now. It's called Bicycle Bride, and when we come back, we're going to talk with the guest himself, the man, the myth, the legend, I stress Dr. Hassan Zee. So we'll be right back, and we want you all to stick around, so don't go anywhere. We're right here.
Same.
That movie looks funny. I actually want to see that. But why don't we talk a little bit with the director of that movie. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, please, Dr. Hassan Zee. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today, Nick?
I am fantastic, sir. It's really great to have you on. I really, when you approached me before, I kind of saw what you were working on. I really said, wow, this guy is really doing some cool stuff. You've got a great history in just personally even, and with film as well. And we wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about what you do. So if you could do me a favor, just introduce yourself a little bit to the audience.
My name is Hassan Zee, and I'm a writer, producer, director, and a medical doctor. And I have a great story to tell because when I was a little kid, I always was interested in making films. And I'm originally from Pakistan, but now I've been living here in San Francisco for the last 13 years. So there were no film schools back home, and I was 19 years old, and I really wanted to. I was very intelligent and got a scholarship to go to medical school, and I became a doctor. But while I was doing medicine, I did not lose my interest and my passion, and I was doing radio for like 6 years, and radio host, and doing DJ and taking calls, and so loved radio. And then I did some television, and then I was 26 years old. I finished my medical school. I became a doctor. I practiced for 1 year back home in Pakistan, Institute of Medical Sciences, and I was working in burn unit. And then I decided I want to go to America and make movies. So I came here 12 years ago, and I pursued my passion. In 2005, I made a film, Night of Henna, which was shot by an Emmy Award-nominated cinematographer, and it got picked up for worldwide distribution, and now it's available on Netflix. It's called Night of Henna. And then I did my second feature film in 2010, which was released in 25 cities theatrically, and now on March 27th, it's releasing worldwide on internet, and it's going to be available on Netflix, and DVD is releasing on Amazon.com. So I'm very excited about it.
Now, you left Pakistan to come here to make movies. Is there any sort of film culture in Pakistan? Is there is there an independent film movement out there? Do you find that a lot of people in Pakistan who want to make movies do tend to emigrate either to the United States or into other places to achieve those goals?
Well, the thing is that, film was, as you understand, with the Italian cinema and also with the French cinema in the 70s and 80s, it was, booming. The independent movement was going very strong. And at the same time, in Pakistan, in the 70s, excellent films were being made. And but they were more kind of Bollywood because the culture over there, they are more used to like 5 songs in the film and dancing and, kind of a love story. So they really liked that. But what happened in the 80s, it started to go down. And then in the 90s, there were only like 10 or 12 films being made per year.
Oh, wow.
So after finishing my medical school, I did go to the city of Lahore, where they do all the filmmaking. And I was quite disappointed to see there were, a bunch of people who were, drunk and not like really paying attention to, the technique of film or doing anything to enhance the film. Mm-hmm. So I kind of decided I don't belong there, and I decided to come to America. So now there are few films which are being made back home, and now I'm here, so I have been here for 12 years, and, I have quite accomplished already 3 feature films, and I'm working on my next one. So in India, there is a lot of work being done in the film because India is a huge Bollywood industry, and they have been around, for 100 years, and over there is some independent cinema going on, and some of the films which, you might have seen coming from India have, made, a lot of buzz all over the world. So India has more opportunities, and the culture is more acceptable for film and for music, and it's kind of part of their religion and part of their culture. But, well, in Pakistan, which is more a Muslim country, so it's not very acceptable. So a person from, a medical doctor, wanting to make films, it's not a favorable, thing to do
Right.
there. So I'm quite happy here. I'm pursuing, both of my dreams, and I work a little bit in healing and medicine, and then, I do films, and I just live here in San Francisco and love it.
Now, back in Pakistan, were you exposed a lot to American cinema, or also French, or even German, or any other cinema that what was there any particular thing that's what when you said, okay, this is it? I mean, like, was there any one movie that you saw or one picture where you were like, I think I could do this for a living?
Well, the thing is that back home in Pakistan, I would see on television some of the films, because American films are, bought by Pakistani television and shown, but there were no films in the theaters. First of all, my dad was in the military, and we were not even allowed to go to movie theaters,
Oh,
so
wow.
we would have to sneak out. When I came to America and when I came to San Francisco and I saw a film, Cinema Paradiso, about a kid who wanted to make movies, and, it was just amazing. I don't know. Have you seen that movie, Cinema Paradiso? It's an Italian film.
Oh,
Right?
I'm very familiar with it years ago, but yeah, no, absolutely. That's a classic piece. So you can actually get it. I think it's in the Criterion collection. You can actually get it on DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that film inspired me, and then I got interested more into French cinema and, some French directors and German cinema like Fassbinder and, Louis Malle from France and Godard. So all these guys were the French New Wave. So I saw a lot of that films, and it really inspired me. And but at the same time, the two films which I have made, Night of Henna and Bicycle Bride, are about women empowerment. That is the theme in my two films, because the culture where I come from, there are some remote areas where the women are not being treated right. If the woman does not bring a lot of dowry with her, or if she does not have children, I mean, it's very sad to say, but they are burnt.
Oh.
So when I was a medical doctor, I was working in the burn unit in Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences. So these women were dying in my hands, or, they were like 40% burned or 60% burned. And an Oscar winner documentary this year in 2012, you might have seen Saving Faces.
Yeah.
They gave that documentary won the Best Documentary Award, and I was the doctor who worked with those women in that hospital. So it's still there, and it's a quite sad thing to say, but these two films which I did were about Muslim women empowerment, because when I was in the hospital and those women were dying in my hands, and I would look at them and I would feel that I must do something about it. So I decided that I'm going to express it through the medium of cinema, and those two films are about women empowerment and what women go through. One film, Night of Henna, which I did in 2005, it was about a girl who was brought from Pakistan and she did not know that she was in an arranged marriage. Was released in 20 cities all over in America and did quite well, written up in New York Times, Village Voice. And then the second film, Bicycle Bride, which I just did, it was about a woman who is living in San Francisco, but her mother is trying to get her into an arranged marriage because the mother is really scared that her daughter might start dating American guys, and it's not in her culture. So basically, these are fears of her own mother, which, she is trying to put on her daughter and not letting go of things. So it's kind of a comedy film. I wanted to get the subject or the theme out in the form of a comedy. So I was quite successful. The film won the Best Feature Film Award in South Appalachian Film Festival, and we just got distribution with a French distributor in American film market, and I think that it's just a wonderful success story to have.
No, it's great. I mean, not only I'm always happy to see other new voices in the independent film community and the film community in general. I always like it when, especially people from other cultures, are they come in and they try to inject a little bit of what it's like, because I think that being American, and I'm the first person to say it, we do tend to be very ignorant of what's going on in other places unless we're actively it's very easy to pick on stuff of what's going on with the wars and this, that, and the other thing, but at the same time, you look at something like Pakistan, and then you have films like Bicycle Bride, films like Saving Faces and stuff like that really shows you what's going on. We had another filmmaker on recently, Meg Pinsino, and then she was on talking about a movie called Guapa that she's working on about children in poor country. I think I want to say it's Guatemala. I could be wrong about the actual location, but it was about kids with cleft lips and problems and stuff like that, and developmental issues. So it's great that when I see people coming in that can put a light on that kind of stuff, that and help draw attention to it. And at the same time, I like what you're doing with Bicycle Bride, and one of the things that kind of attracted me when I was watching the trailer and looking at what you've done was that you did kind of take the opportunity to put a more humorous spin on it, because I think that tends to work better for Americans. And I would say congratulations on the French distributor. It'd be really interesting to see how well it does do, in that market, because I think something like that would probably be it'd just be a really interesting sell over there.
Yeah. So the thing is that you talked about the American the people are not well aware of the rest of the world. The beauty of America is that the people from all different parts of the world, they come here and then they all bring their stories. So, here is the opportunity to share all those. And I just think that America is a wonderful country because I came from another country and I was able to make films here, and I'm still, pursuing my next feature film and making it happen for myself. So it's just a wonderful country, and the most important thing is the acceptance, like here, especially in San Francisco, it's a very accepting city, and, here in California, and I think that people in America are very open-hearted and they accept things easily, and then slowly, we just have to tell our stories and tell, everybody what we are doing, and they understand. So that is just a little part of what I wanted to say because you mentioned that. And
what are some of the biggest hurdles that you had to go over? Some of the biggest challenges you had to face as an immigrant coming into this country, with the dream of making films. I mean, and people who make films here who've lived there their entire lives have a hard enough time doing that, and much less getting distributed and being successful at it. What were some of the biggest challenges that you personally had to overcome to get where you are now?
Well, the thing is here that I'm the kind of person who does not take no for an answer. So what happens is that I go and meet a distributor, and if the distributor says, oh, I'm sorry, we really don't like your film, or, you have actors on the poster which are like, foreign looking, I just don't give up because I know that there is a distributor out there who is going to accept it. And with that, passion and perseverance, you can make the things happen. I just don't take no for an answer, and that's just me.
No, and that's good. I mean, I know even someone who's going through a challenge of trying to find producers right now, that they'll talk to a producer and they'll get one note on something and they'll back right off rather than standing up to them and saying, well, no, it makes sense for this to be this way. Let's approach it from this direction, or rather than it's just it's really tough to hear no or hear criticism of your work, or even the work that you're trying to get out there. Now, how you said you went to the American film market?
Yeah. So let me tell you a little bit of story of how I got distribution for my first film. I went there, I was brand new in this country. I went there and to American Film Market, which is a market in Los Angeles. It's about where all the distributors from all over the world, they get together and they buy and sell feature films for the rest of the world. So it's the world's biggest market, and it happens every year in November in Los Angeles.
1 second, we just have a little bit of background noise here from we just had our other guests call in, I think.
Oh, no problem.
That's okay.
So anyway, the American Film Market. So I went there and I met the distributors. I met, people from Miramax, people from Samuel Goldwyn Pictures, and met people from Sony Pictures Classics. And I gave them my card and I said, I'm Hassan Zee, and this is my picture. And, they looked at me and they said, oh, well, this is not something which we are interested on. So I went with great hope, I read in the books, how the directors would go to LA and come back, like Spike Lee and other directors, and they would come back with a deal or something. And so when I came back, I was quite disappointed. But at the same time, I had in my mind that, there were 5,000 other films looking for distribution at the same time when my film was looking for distribution. So I came back and I did a big screening of the film on my own in San Francisco State University. And I created press releases and bombarded the distributors that my film is releasing in San Francisco. And when the same distributors heard that, I started getting calls from all these big distributors like Miramax. Somebody from there called me and said, where's the film? And I got Fox Searchlight to give me a call. And so I found my distributor, And this woman, she was a distributor in Sony Pictures, but she wanted to start her own company. So she flew in and took my picture, signed the release, gave me a big check. I was very happy, and they put my film in 25 cities in theaters. So it's just a matter of, not giving up. You know what I mean? This is the world's hardest job or world's hardest career. But the thing is that only the people who will not give up will survive. So you just have to know that.
Absolutely. And thank you for telling us a little bit of the story about the AFM too, because I think that there's a little bit of mystery that in a lot of the market type of I don't want to call it a festival, but let's just say the markets, Cannes, Berlin, AFM, stuff like that. It's really interesting when I hear stories of people who have had success with that, because I think that a lot of filmmakers who do spend the time and the money to be in them don't necessarily always take advantage of the opportunity. So yeah, no, that's really good. And let's talk a little bit more about Bicycle Bride and as far as your production. How long did it take you to get everything together, find your actors, get everything so to the point where you were ready to show it?
The thing is that the first and most important thing is the screenplay. So that has to be finished before you go into pre-production, and the screenplay has to be something really magical, something unique. So it took us about 6 months to finish the screenplay, and then once you have the screenplay done, then it takes about 3 months to put the things together. But once the financing is in place, so then you get the actors, and sometimes you can even get a name actor if they are really interested in your screenplay. So the screenplay is the foundation, and then within 3 months we got the crew together, and then the shooting days are like 26. You really do a very well scheduling. I had the lead actor coming from Sweden. He was in an Academy Award nominated film, The Evil. His name is Andreas Wilson. I saw him on the internet, and I wanted to work with him. So he wanted to work with me when he read the script, and I was able to flew him in. And then I had Miss India America, which we flew her in from New York to San Francisco. And then we had more actors from San Francisco, a couple of actors from Canada.
Nice. And I think that also probably begs the question, because it looks like, you really kind of went, with the expenses of having to fly people out and stuff like that. I won't ask how much the budget was, but what I will ask is, where did you go to for producers or whoever to get the money from? Or was this a self-finance type of endeavor?
The thing is that you have to put some of your own money, because the people are usually your friends or somebody which you have met along the way. They know you and they know about your passion. And I got some money from my brother, and then I got some money from some of my friends who know me for a long time, and they have seen that I have made films. So in the beginning, you will have to knock at the doors of your family and friends. And then once you start establishing yourself, like right now with Bicycle Bride, getting all the distribution deals, and I have a distributor already in place for my next film. So when I had that letter from a distributor, I can go to any investor and say, look, this is more genuine. This is how you're going to make your money back, and then they start trusting you more, and then you just, keep on doing it. But in the beginning, you kind of depend on friends and family, and then once you establish yourself, then there are production companies out there who would want to invest in you.
That's wonderful. And why don't you tell us a little bit about what your next project is about?
My next film is actually also, it's about... it's a very San Francisco kind of film, and the working title is Fallen Woman in San Francisco, and it's about an American woman who is a madame, a prostitute, who is 55 years old, and she has lived in San Francisco for 30 years, and she had a son which she gave her to her sister to raise, and now he's 17 years old, and he's coming to San Francisco for the first time, and the mother is really, she's really worried that how is she going to face her son. So a very, very intriguing and amazing story which I'm working on, and I'm very excited about it. And it's at the same time the theme comes to a woman who is dealing with, because she wants to make her son a lawyer, she wants to see him attorney at law.
Right.
So what she has gone through herself to whatever she did not get, she wants to see her own dream in her son. So that's all I think I can tell at this point.
No, that's fine. And now, are you going to take the same approach that you took with Bicycle Bride, with something that's a little bit more, comedic, or is it going to be more drama, or?
It's a very different. It's going to be more drama, and I saw Martin Scorsese's film Taxi Driver, and I was quite, the characters in there were quite intriguing, and a look like that. I'm thinking about what Martin Scorsese did in that film. I might be using some of the techniques what they used in that film.
It's funny, like I think a lot of us here kind of take a little bit for granted. I know you've been here for many years now, but coming from Pakistan, you said you used to have to go to sneak out to see movies and stuff like that. So your exposure was a little bit more limited than I think that we have. And so I take a great amount of there's a bit of amusement to how I feel about, I would love to watch a movie with you that you've never seen before, because I almost feel like there would still be a very, almost, just the level of excitement would make me excited, because, with the amount of movies that I think a lot of us here, myself being a film critic, and also for my, a lot of people in my audience who are also filmmakers who watch, have watched hundreds of thousands of movies, I think it's just, it still seems like watching a movie with you would still be like watching a movie with someone for the like who's never watched movies, And
Yeah,
I'm sure that's not entirely true, but it gives me a feeling,
Yeah, the thing is, Nick, that films are so amazing that every person watches the film, watches the story through the way he wants to watch it. So the film affects people, everybody, very differently. Like, I'm coming from another culture, and I will be looking at all these people as, somebody from a foreign eye. But you would be looking at the same film because you might have had those experiences which are in the film. So everybody sees the films through their own eyes. So that's why it makes them a unique experience.
Well, and I want to thank you for bringing those experiences to over here, and also raising awareness with your the social issue films that you do, and also and it just I guess I have nothing more to say except for everyone go out and check out Bicycle Bride when it comes to if you can see it somewhere. You can for more information, go to bicyclebride.com. And Hassan, is there any other place that people can find you online? Twitter, Facebook, anything like that?
I'm on Facebook. You can befriend me on Facebook /Hassan Zee. And my film Bicycle Bride is going to be releasing on Amazon on March 27th. And then Night of Henna is going out on Hulu. So, the distributors, they are, making all the efforts to put it out there. So I don't have to do it. But I'm focusing on my new film. And I would be putting up, all the updates on Facebook about, fallen women in San Francisco. And I look forward to shooting the film this year. I'm very excited about it. And I hope that the people who listen to this interview or come and check on the Facebook will be able to see my next film and see Bicycle Bride. And Night of Henna is already available on Netflix. So I would love you to just write me feedback. I'm very easy to get hold of kind of guy. So write me on Facebook or just shoot me an email at hassanzee@gmail.com.
All right, Hassan, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out to come on the show and to talk about your films and your journey and your experience over here in America. It's like I said, even for people who have lived here their entire life that are trying to make movies, it's great to see that that's what you're doing. You know, that you came out here from another country with not a huge film background, but yeah, you came out here. You're distributing, and now you're making more movies. You're staying. Just everything it seems like it's going well, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much, Nick. I really appreciate it. And I'm so glad that FilmSnobbery is, doing all this for the independent cinema. And I also heard that you're going to be moving to Los Angeles, so stay in touch. And would love to, if anything I can do to help the FilmSnobbery.com or any kind of help you need, please feel free to email me or get in touch with me.
I will, Hassan. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Dr. Hassan Zee, the director of Bicycle Bride. And so look out for that. Again, www.bicyclebride.com. Find him on Facebook. Find him everywhere. He left his contact info, and he's a great guy. So great to speak with him. We're going to go ahead and we're going to cut over to our good friends at Indie Picks Unlimited, and then when we come back, we are going to have a few moments, and by a few moments I mean a half an hour, with our good friend and I'd say new Film Snobbery co-host, Leah Cevoli. So we'll be right back with her right after this. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely, stunning, and talented Leah Cevoli.
Does that mean I'm supposed to speak now?
That's you.
Hey, Nick, how are you?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing? Now,
where's Jerry at? Why can't I see Jerry?
Because Jerry's not here with me. Jerry lives in New York.
Jerry!
That's why...
I'm on the line, though. I'm just not allowed to speak, according to Nick.
Jerry's are better seen and not heard.
I thought I'm not seen either.
That's true. So he's better seen and not seen and not heard. But this show isn't about Jerry. This show is about you right now.
Okay.
And for the audience, I kind of forewent. I don't know how the word for that goes, but I went ahead and I skipped your entire full intro because I wanted people to hear your lovely voice first, and I wanted them to hear just like the length and breadth of your experience. It is you're everywhere online and on television, and I can't go one night without, I'm watching TV in my room, it's like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and all of a sudden I'm watching Robot Chicken, and I'm looking at the credits, Leah Cevoli, every freaking night.
Nice. Well, they rerun them a lot. Thank goodness. That's awesome.
So for those of you guys who don't know, yes, Leah she's one of the featured voice talents over on Robot Chicken. She's also currently working on a new project over. You can see it over on Kickstarter called JEDI Camp. You can also go to www.jedicamp.com. They're all trying to raise some dough for that right now. So in lieu of hawking my own campaign, we're hawking their campaign tonight, or at least for the next half hour.
Yeah, you jumped in with 3 days left, and all of a sudden everybody's paying attention to Nick's campaign.
You know what though? Forget my campaign. Let's talk about yours real quick, because you've got so much stuff going on. Plus, you've got an appearance at WonderCon coming up. You've got an impending co-hosty thingy going on with this guy Nick Baisley at some point. out in L.A. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, there's that guy Nic too. Yeah, sure. I'll talk about all of that.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. Let's start at the beginning. Who are you?
Who am I? Well, I was born in Philly, and I'm a Taurus with blue eyes, and I like rock and roll and roller coasters. Wait, that was my OkCupid profile. Sorry.
I thought I saw you.
No, I really did just join. Who am I? I'm the oldest of 5. I am from Philly, like I said, but I moved to LA in 1999. Did the whole pack my car up with a couple $100. I knew one person. I had no apartment, no job, no nothing. And 12 years later, here I am being interviewed on FilmSnobbery.
Yes, it's the nadir of your career. But no, I am glad to have you on, and I've always been, I interviewed Leah a couple of years ago at First Glance Philadelphia Film Festival, First Glance Philly.
The fall of 2010.
That was it. Yeah, and so we were hanging out. We had an interview. It was funny because you were at the time heading over to Rock and Shock in Worcester, which is my hometown.
Yes, I am. I did my background is mostly in the rock and roll and horror genre, so I had just arrived on the East Coast, and it was the end of September, so it was, getting to be Halloween time, and I was all up and down the East Coast doing appearances and signing, and I guess that's the first project that kind of threw me into the indie world, was a little horror short that I co-produced and starred in called Body of Work, and you can get that on Amazon. And that was at the point when I met Nic, was when I was just finishing up that. And it's crazy because the past 2 years has just been all about that, all about creating my own work and getting my own projects out there and teaming up with awesome people like First Glance Films, which is how I met Bill and you. We all kind of met on the same night. And it's been 2 years in the making that I've been a part of it. Bill's been working on this project for much longer than that. He's had the idea in his head. And what's really cool about it is that it's a web series, and besides myself and Camden, there really aren't too many other adult actors. It's a bunch of kids, so it was really hard to decide. And we had table reads with them, and they're adorable, and they showed us their saber skills. And like these kids are amazing, you guys. Wait till you see all of these kids. They're no newcomers. I mean, they're 6, 7, 8 years old, and some of them have resumes longer than I do, but they really do. But the most important thing is that it's a Star Wars fan film, which is awesome. Who doesn't love Star Wars? I grew up with the name Leah, so of course, all my life I've been being asked, like princess. And I always say, actually, I was born a couple years before that movie came out. But I was raised around Star Wars. My dad and my brothers are huge fans. And so the Star Wars theme is amazing because kids and adults alike will watch that. But the message is an anti-bullying message, and the children learn to use the ways of the Force to overcome their bully. And as Nic said, we have 3 days, actually almost 2 at this point, left on our Kickstarter campaign. You can go to Kickstarter.com and search JEDI Camp. We're a little over 25% funded, I think, at this point. We're only about 4,000, 5,000 from our goal, but, as you guys know, with Kickstarter, it's all or nothing.
Yeah, totally.
So,
and now's the time for that Kickstarter effect to really happen, where like everyone kind of rallies together. It's time for us to plan the bombing run on the Death Star. That's what it is. We're in that room right now, and everyone out there is like, the exhaust port's only 2 meters wide. It's like it's impossible, even for a computer. And you know what? No, it isn't impossible. Do or do not. There is no try, I believe.
I'm totally confident still, Nic. I'm totally confident. And like you said, now's the point where, it's interesting as crowdfunders. We're all independent crowdfunders. You border on that spam thread sometimes. But now's the point where I'm okay reaching out to certain celebrities that I know have campaigns like this going, that that believe in this sort of thing. Anti-bullying, and it's a great message for kids, but now's the point where you just reach out to everyone and every possible person you can think of, and you really utilize your network, because let's face it, $2-3 from everyone, that's how a campaign gets funded.
Absolutely. No, and you guys have a lot of talented people besides yourself also working on this. I mean, you have, like we said, Bill Ostroff, who's the head of the First Glance Film Festival, both in Philly and Hollywood, has shown hundreds, if not thousands, of movies over the past 15 or so years.
Phil has such a great support for the independent film community, and I really hope that all of the people and projects and films he supported over the past couple of years will kick in and help him. And Nick, speaking of Bill, he gave me a list of perks that are only available right now to FilmSnobbery listeners and viewers, and these are donations and perks that we're adding on just for tonight's show.
Yep, and that I have that list as well, but just not as handy as you do. So if you want to go ahead, let's do this this little thing. So anyone who donates $25, what do they get?
They're going to get an extra 1-year subscription to Movie Maker magazine on top of the perks that are already on Kickstarter.
A subscription to Movie Maker magazine, why, that is fantastic, because I love Movie Maker magazine. I've been in Movie Maker magazine, so is co-host Jerry. So, and by co-host, I mean, almost former co-host. Oh, God, I can't wait to fire him.
Oh, don't tease him. He just got Robot Chicken Doll in the mail the other day.
Oh, God, I can't wait to fire Jerry. No, I'm kidding. Jerry and I have been working together for so many years. I think it's time for a change, preferably one with boobs. And
that's kind of insulting. Like, oh yeah, we're just getting her for her boobs. Is that what you're saying?
Have you seen her? No, I'm kidding.
Jerry, you can borrow my boobs if you'd like.
It's just got weird.
Jerry's always been the co-host by default. And no, I'm kidding. Jerry will still be with us. He'll still be doing the chat moderation. He'll still be doing a lot of other contributing
I'm
insights.
co-host because I show up.
That is true. Like
I'm more the live event girl anyway. It's all good.
That's all. And yeah, you're someone with on-camera experience. Jerry, we don't want him on camera just as much as we don't want me. But back to the perks.
Back to Kickstarter, yes.
Yes, and so what about $100? Like $25, I will say right now, fuck that. We want big money. As they say, right on The Price is Right, come on, big money. So what do we get for $100?
For $100, besides the perks that are already up on Kickstarter, and please look at them because they're amazing, we've added just for tonight's listeners an exclusive JEDI CAMP DVD with bonus footage. So this is going to be footage from the auditions, footage from the table reads, footage of, Camden and I goofing off, some footage of us playing practical jokes on Bill, whatever we can capture on footage, you're going to get that on that special DVD.
And I think what we need to do on for the next one, because I like what the next one too, because I think it's going to really appeal to all the independent filmmakers in the crowd. What's the next one?
$250. We're kicking in an extra perk tonight, the Gorilla Pro software.
Gorilla Pro. I mean, I love that software, and because also it has a great. I think I even have a box for it around here. I could show you guys. Maybe not. No. Okay. I thought I did. One of the cool things it's got is it has a festival list that I believe is kind of updated and stuff like that to manage festival submissions. It's great for budgeting, scheduling, all your pre-production stuff like that. Great software. And now once we get into we're going to start getting into big money now. So what's the next one?
Well, our first pledge tonight, just the first pledge from this point on, the next person to pledge $500 is going to get Vegas Pro 10.
Vegas Pro 10. Sweet. Now, and I will say right now, we use Vegas here. We have used Vegas since I started pirating it back in the day, which was my whole pitch to Sony. I was like, I'm tired of pirating your software. Can I please have a legit one? And the guy was like, fine. That was 4 years ago, and we've continued to use it since then. And that's if you guys are trying to work with editing software, and also not this. There's also a bonus on this. It comes with it. I don't know if you're aware of this, Leah. Sony Vegas Pro comes bundled with DVD Architect. So what's one of the things that Macs can't do? Blu-ray, right?
Oh, wow. So that allows you to watch a Blu-ray on your Mac?
No. DVD Architect allows you to master Blu-rays. Not on your Mac. It's PC only. But it allows you to master Blu-rays. So if you're out there and you're making DVDs, you want to make Blu-ray copies of your movies as well, because you're shooting them in high def, why not distribute them in high def? Sony Vegas Pro 10 and up, and also DVD Architect will allow you to do that.
Awesome. Nick, I'm going to run through the rest of these real quick so we can get a few other things in here. But the next person to pledge $1,000 is also going to get the Movie Magic budgeting and scheduling. So we're just getting increasingly more awesome as the money goes up. And then the first pledge from here on out for $2,500 is going to get the showbiz budgeting, the scheduling, and the producer software. And then, get this, you ready for this one, Nick? Because I think this one is just amazing. Like you said, Bill runs First Class Films. He's always supporting indie films all over the country. He's got his Philadelphia Festival, he's got the LA Festival, and now we're opening up a Vegas Festival. So anyone that donates $5,000, on top of all the perks that are already listed on Kickstarter, are going to get a red carpet screening in Las Vegas for their project in a 1-week theatrical run in a 450-seat theater on the Las Vegas Strip.
You just almost gave me a heart attack. You can't do that to a fat man like myself.
So, I mean, that's pretty freaking awesome. All of a sudden, your movie is showing 1-week theatrical run on the Las Vegas Strip, which I was just there. Let me tell you, you definitely want to be on the Las Vegas Strip.
Yeah, I mean, look, you could spend $12,000, doing a 4-wall at the Quad for one night, or you could spend $5,000 and get a week in Vegas with a red carpet premiere on the Strip.
And donate to this amazing project.
Yes.
And the thing is that we're actually, if we raise more than what we need, we're donating anything extra to the DoSomething.org campaign against bullying and violence.
And those guys are cool. I met the CFO of that company when I was at South by Southwest last year, and I've always been...
You're a hobnobber.
It's what I do. I'm a peoples who knows people. Which is why we got to get Film Snobbery out to Los Angeles people, because, I can work with great people like Leah, and I can get all the contacts and the hobby nobbies, and then everyone's gets a movie. That's what happens. It's going to be like Oprah in LA. You get a movie, and you get a movie. But before we can do that, we have to get people like Leah and Bill and Camden and these kids, we have to get them straightened out over at JEDI Camp. We have to, we got to fund them. Then we fund us, and then everyone is happy.
Sounds good. Nick, before we go, I know we've got only about 10 minutes or so left. I also want to give a shout out to Dave Bullis and the Game Over series project, which is a project that I helped produce just this past spring in my hometown of Aston, Pennsylvania. Just a few short months after I met you, I saw an ad on the local Craigslist that there was a project being filmed at Sun Center Studios in Aston, PA. For those of you that haven't heard of Sun Center yet, it's a multi-million-dollar 2-stage complex that has been in the works for some time now in this tiny little suburb, 20 minutes south of Philadelphia. And Dave Bullis actually, we were the first pilot to shoot there. And so I came on board, and we made it SAG, and we got a lot of love from Philadelphia SAG, and we had some amazing actors on board, including Kenneth McGregor and Brian Anthony Wilson. You guys might know him. And Dave, we're getting ready to put out our promo video for that this week. I produced that alongside of Dave Bullis and Joey DiCamilla and Chris Domenico. And we just started working with Mike Fromm for our press kit artist. He's a PR publication designer. And Terry Cullen is doing our artist for the poster. His latest project, he's helping to restore the chapel using the original Night of the Living Dead with Bert Romero, and it's fixthechapel.com. And so those guys are working on the big press kit for Game Over series, and that should be out probably within the next couple weeks, I'm thinking. I know Dave's in the chat room. He can jump in and if it's not the next couple of weeks, but I think it is. And so please make sure to also check out that as far as indie projects go. It's GameOverSeries.com.
Excellent. Dave, there's your shout out, and I want to thank you for your donation earlier today. So by the way, for your donation to our campaign, we get you a 1-year subscription to Movie Maker magazine too. Surprise.
Nice. Yeah, and Game Over, it's about a bunch of dudes in a video game store in a strip mall, and just like all the antics that ensue. And I was contemplating, Nick, before I came on your show tonight, when did I turn into such this geek girl? Like, I'm this rock and roll chick. I have 7 tattoos. I've toured with Poison, and all of a sudden, every project around me is about geeks and gamers and Star Wars.
Well, and that must be why you're going to be working with all these wonderful women over at WonderCon at this panel that you've got. So let's talk about that for a second.
Yes, totally. The Geek Girls Create panel. I will be on this panel with just some amazing ladies. A few months back, my girlfriend Kristen Netopek, you can find her on Twitter, it's @Netopek, approached me about just sitting in on a panel with her at the Kamikaze Expo. And then turns out she's told that she has a few days that she has to produce the whole panel. And Kristen panicked a little, and I was like, no, you know what? We can do this. We know people, we'll pull it together, and so we did. We pulled an amazing panel of girls together. We've got Helena Santos-Levy. She's got actually a new web series coming out called Girl and Boy TV. It's an animated project that her and her husband are producing. Jessica Mills, you guys might know her from Awkward Embraces. Stephanie Thorpe, you probably all know her from ElfQuest. And then Cricket Lee, who's the editor-in-chief over at girlgamer.com. Along with myself and Kristen Nedopak, who does Think Hero, and she's actually got a Siren video out right now to Lydia with Love that has like over 1 million hits on it that she just produced herself a few weeks back. And basically what it is we're all just women in the industry, and it's not an anti-men panel by any means, which is actually something Bonnie Burton, who works over at Star Wars, she's an editor over there in the craft. She approached us after the panel and said she really liked how it wasn't an anti-man panel. But we just all happen to be women in the industry, and we're creating our own work. We're writing, we're producing, we're directing, we're funding, we're walking around with flip cameras, we're putting things together in our backyards, and it's really just for the love of the craft. Like, you know, what are you supposed to do? Sit around and wait for the phone to ring? Sit around and wait to see how that audition went? No, you get out there, especially in this day and age. You get out there, you create your own projects, you get it online, you build a fan base, and next thing you know, you're Nic Baisley and you're moving to LA.
Wait, was I just called a woman? But no, you're absolutely right. I love when I see women's panels or panels that feature people that don't necessarily always get the fairest voice in the industry, and I think that web series over movies anyway has always been a lot more fair to females versus obviously one of the big hubbubs this year, with the Oscars and stuff like that, there were so many people saying like not enough women are nominated and stuff, and I completely agree. It's great. I love those panels because it's always good to see another perspective, and usually that perspective is unique.
Yeah, I'm not really one to be like, oh, we need more girl or we need more this or more that. I think we need whatever the cream of the crop is. Whatever's the best is going to rise, and whoever is talented is going to rise, which is why, we're not, we are all women, but it's not like, oh, we're fighting for women's rights or anything like that. You know what? We're just fighting to be heard, or we're fighting to have our talent out there, and we're fighting to create. So we are going to be at WonderCon. It's in Anaheim, California. Our panel is Saturday the 17th. I believe it's 5 p.m. It might be 5:30 p.m., but definitely right around that time. And we have a Facebook page. You can find us at facebook.com/geekgirlscreate. And it just feels so amazing because out here in Los Angeles, which you're about to find out, Nick, is, sometimes you feel like a one-woman show, one-man show. You feel like you're on a deserted island. And so it's been really nice to team up with this group of 5 other women who are all kind of on this island alone as well. And it's nice to have somebody else to retweet your project, which is also what's been amazing with working with Bill Ostroff and First Glance Film. Like, we've got 3 days left of this campaign, and if this was me by myself producing something, I would be going bonkers. But I have Bill and I have all you guys helping to spread the word, and it's just amazing. So it's just really great when you team up with somebody who's, I don't know, got your back, I guess.
No, absolutely. I mean, one of the biggest catalysts for me to move to Los Angeles was because I felt so isolated here. I'm such a one-man band here in Massachusetts. I mean, if those of you know, I've got Jerry, but Jerry's 5 hours away. Anyone, if I want to go do anything that's film-related, I have to go minimum an hour away. I mean, and it costs a lot of money because Boston, doesn't have a lot of stuff going on, and when it does, it's expensive. Same thing with New York and stuff like that. So my goal is to be, and I completely understand it. When you get a group of people around you that support you, that's where I want to be. I want to be in a place where I can feel creatively driven because that's where all these people are. And I completely understand. We did have a quick question from Dave, actually, in the chat room. I just want to address real quick. He said, "Are you using a new tech TriCaster to generate the set?" No, I'm not. We've got a great sponsor with Wirecast. Telestream is the name of the company. Wirecast is the product, and it is a software version, basically, of a TriCaster. It allows us to do green screen sets. It also allows us to do multi-camera, live switching, live green screening, a whole bunch of other stuff. But good question. Yeah, we actually on the new set, I believe, when we do get out to Los Angeles, I believe that the new studio does have a TriCaster, which I'm looking forward to getting my greasy little paws on because I love new tech. Not new tech, the company, but I love new technology. So right now, I love Telestream because they gave me this for free. So and yeah, you're
You look really great sitting behind your desk there, Nick.
it's so funny because there is actually a desk here, but
Really?
the desk that's on the front just looks so much better.
It's so much cooler. It's like all like oval shaped and green and high tech looking.
And I will say now you've got you that's not the only stuff you've got going on. You know, you've got WonderCon, you've got you also
What else do I got going on? Did I forget something?
well, one thing we didn't talk about is, I mean, one of the reasons why I think that you also got involved with this, besides the fact that it's Bill and Camden. Camden, if you guys don't know, I mean, if you guys are fans of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you know Camden. We interviewed him at First Glance Hollywood a few years ago as well. Camden's a great guy. Really love talking with him. But Leah, I think another reason why you like doing this is because you are also known for doing you're a charity person.
I am.
I'm
I
not.
really do to get involved in good causes. While I was in Philly last year, I performed in the Vagina Monologue, which is something that happens every year, and they donate money to different causes. And I've done a lot of hosting events, charity events, AIDS Walk LA. I produced a project, Hollywood Rocks for Haiti, right after Haiti had gone through all that trouble back in 2010. I've worked with the Prevention for Suicide. I've also recently been on a campaign called Real Men Don't Rape, and that's calebshope.org is an organization that goes to Uganda and helps women and children out there. So I just feel like as much as possible when you have a platform to use your voice and speak, even if it's something as simple as going to the No Hate photo shoot, it's a silent campaign. It's simply a photograph that you put up somewhere just to show your support. I believe that, I don't know, I feel like that's what makes the world go round, and that's what makes everybody better. I work with Tom Morello a lot. He has an organization called accessofjustice.org, and I am officially one of his Access of Justice. And when he's in town, they'll put crazy little rock shows on with people like Slash and Fleek and all sorts of amazing musicians show up. And as an Access of Just Dead, I'm one of the girls up front with a little red tank top on collecting donations as you come in and out of the door. And, it feels good to get involved and to give back. And honestly, I think that's part of the reason I'm in the entertainment industry, because let's face it, the more celebrity you become, the more good that you can do. The more money you have, the more visibility you have, the more things you can help make happen, all the way from indie film to, getting involved in humongous organizations and charities like people like Angelina Jolie do and Leonardo DiCaprio do. And I really admire celebrities that use their voice for a cause.
And for all the people who want to get involved with Leah because they like what she does, they like what she represents, they like her as a person, and obviously like her as an actress, because first and foremost, that's what she does for a job. So hire her. Hire her. Voice actress or regular in front of the camera actress, the whole niner. She does it all.
Yeah, I do both. I mean, I love animation. I love cartoons. I love working on Robot Chicken. But I absolutely love to be on camera as well. Horror films, of course, being my favorite. With romantic comedies, a close second. I would love a Kate Hudson type, kind of Goldie Hawn type feeling movie.
See, Jerry, now what we need to do is we need to find a way to cast Leah in Freshman 15.
I was saying Funny Devil, since that looks like it's going to actually get made soon.
That's true. There you go. She could.
And then we could steal her away from you.
There you go. She could do Lisa.
She would be a good Lisa, actually.
There you go.
Send me the script. We'll talk.
There you go. My people, your people will do lunch. No big whoop. So, Leah, if these people do want to hire you, they do want to get involved with you for a charity, or they want to donate or get involved with JEDI Camp. I mean, you can go to donate to JEDI Camp, go to Kickstarter.com or JEDICamp.com and just find them there. But if they want to get involved with you on any other things you're doing, where can they find you?
The easiest way to get in touch with me is Twitter. I adore Twitter. Twitter is my preferred form of communication, and that's simply at Leah, Leah _ Cevoli, Cevoli. You can can also find me on Facebook. It's Facebook/Leah Cevoli. I'm on Tumblr, leahcevoli.tumblr.com. I'm on YouTube, Google+, you name it. But the first thing I'd probably see and get back to first would be Twitter. So just hit me up on Twitter.
I will hit you up everywhere.
Well, you.
Yes. So, absolutely. So, Leah, I want to thank you for coming on. And again, I want to stress that everyone should take another peek at, if you haven't already, or even up your pledge, if you haven't, to JEDI Camp. I mean, come on. It's anti-bullying. It's kids. It's Star Wars, you know. It's got some cool people involved. People that I have had my back in the past on my campaigns and in my career, and I'm just, hopefully we can pay it forward by, getting these kids a cool little role in a cool little fan web series, a web film.
So we've even reached out to Mark Hamill. As far as we know, he does have a script. A good friend of mine, Andy McKenzie, just started Sushi Girl with Mark. And he passed the script along for us. It went through Mark's daughter, Chelsea, and, hopefully Mark took a look at it. But we're trying to get it into the hands of some of the original Star Wars cast because it's a fun little project with a great message, and we're just really hoping that the whole Star Wars community in general will support it.
Go ahead. You know what you should do? A nice crossover with Life's Too Short, and you get Warwick Davis to come in and play an Ewok or something. So...
We were saving that for Jerry.
They were saving it for Jerry. Jerry's going to be an Ewok, because he's not tall enough to be a Wookiee. Although he is hairy enough. You wouldn't even need a costume. But it's okay, Jerry. We all know I would be like some Cantina band deformed like person that was, I don't know.
Crossover with the Goonies and you'd be Sloth.
See, you always got to go back to the Goonies. Come on.
Yeah.
4 years of you with the Goonies. Come on, get a new one.
I haven't did it in a long time, but then you're calling me a hairy Ewok.
Well,
You're going to get that.
I've called you much worse on camera.
That was my wish. I want it back.
I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
Take it all back.
Jerry, it's our time up here. I don't know. But Leah, I want to thank you for coming on the show. You always make me smile, and then that is...
Oh boy, you don't know me very well.
Oh, I'm sure I'm going to hate you just as much as I hate Jerry on set, but but for now you make me smile. So I want to thank you for that gift, and I want to thank you for for what you're doing with JEDI Camp and for everything else that you do for charity, for horror, for women, for the whole niner.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, that was Miss Leah Cevoli, and isn't she a dog?
I feel like my whole family is sitting there in the chat room.
I know, right?
My film family.
They're all here. Everyone's here. We actually we have a great audience. I want to take a second because I did tell everyone we would do some cool shout outs today. So I do want to thank obviously Dave for donating to our campaign, and also Kim Garland for donating to our campaign as well. Hopefully you threw a couple shekels over to the good folks at JEDI Camp as well. And Kim, I know you're not in the chat room anymore, but if you're still listening, I'll try to, if I haven't already, hook you up with a Movie Maker subscription as well for donating to us. But if you haven't, please donate to JEDI Camp, and let's see here. Say thank you and hello to Bill Ostroff, who's in there. Zach Forsman, another PA native, and Kings of Fink out in Chicago. K-Fink, I will be passing through Chicago, so we should hook up for coffee, hot chocolate, or something like that. Leah, obviously, because Leah's on and she's here. John Hoff, thank you for hometown boy here in Boston. Let's see, Kim, who was here, I think she left, but hello to Kim. And I want to say hello to Alexia Anastasio. I want to say hi to she's down in Long Island. She's a great filmmaker as well. Just everyone who's come in tonight, I want to say thank you, and obviously I want to thank our first guest for the evening, Dr. Hassan Zee. Again, check out his film Bicycle Bride. Check out everything that Leah's doing over with JEDI Camp, and check out everything she's doing just in general. You can find her again on Twitter, twitter.com/Leah_Cevoli, And let's see, Jerry, we can always find Jerry online. Jerry's over at jerrycavallaro.com, or you can find him on Twitter, twitter.com/getstuck. And then if you want to find us, you can find us every day, week, hour, minute, second, over at twitter.com/filmsnobbery, and you can get more information on everything we do, plus read reviews, including reviews of Leah's short movie that she produced, Body of Work. And many, many more over at filmsnobbery.com. Join us here every week, every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to try to keep doing these regularly up until we leave. So Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here at filmsnobberylive.com. Next week we have, I believe it's Destry Martino, Mixed Bloom's director. Destry Martino is going to be on the show, and quite coincidentally, possibly might be my new not roommate, but I think she's going to live in the same apartment I might live in. So same building. So that could be interesting. So she's going to be on. Everyone look forward to that. I met her actually at the Sidewalk Film Festival. She's such a doll. I love her. She's a wonderful director, wonderful person. So that's really all we have for Film Snobbery Live tonight. So again, check out JEDI Camp. Get everything done. Filmsnobbery.com. That's all I got. Good night, everybody.